that got me. I mean, honestly, we got up to Twisted in Murderous Death and I was like, that sounds amazing. That's Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're at the start of December's reset video. We're very excited. Like November's reset video, this will be taking place over a couple of weeks while I prepare for the month ahead, and we are going to be tackling a few different things that I want to get done. The feedback that I got from November's reset video was really positive, so thank you so much. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Like last time, I will be having a separate TBR video for December, which will be coming out after this video. But this video, we're going to focus on a few different things, so grab yourself beverage of choice. I've gone with a chai latte. I love my chai latte. And let's get into what we're going to be doing in this video. I have three main things I want to do in this video. One of them is festive decoration. It is time to put the autumnal stuff away for now. Honestly, I do think that the pumpkins and like actually this general witchy setup is going to become a bit of a staple. For the Christmas season, this will be put into one side. I just love this, although I'm really tempted to keep the bat because, right, let me show you. If I raise the camera up a bit, we have a witchy painting here. It's a beautiful painting. I love the artist, and just this whole corner is very like autumnal witchy. I love it. And this bat is left over from Halloween, but it just goes so well here. I'm really tempted to keep it and just do something festive, so maybe try and find like a Christmas hat to put on the bat or something like that to make it a bit more festive, because I love it. I need to keep some of the more witchy vibes because it's just the things that I love, like it's the decor and aesthetic I adore. We're going to definitely have some festive decoration, but we're going to see if we can keep it maybe a little bit more muted and have it a little bit more autumnal witchy vibes. We're gonna see what we can do with it. So we're gonna go out shopping for Christmas decorations and just see what we find. Like I might end up going more Christmassy than what I think if I find things that really like I'm really excited about. The lighting's going in and out. It's a cloudy day. We're gonna have to get used to it for the autumn winter videos, I think. But yeah, so that's one thing I'm really excited about, is actually going out and just doing a bit of decoration shopping. I am not a massive Christmas person, but I do love decorating my space and changing it up for the seasons and different holidays. Definitely something I'm going to be doing a lot more of. I also want to go book shopping. So what I've decided is, basically it's an excuse to go book shopping, but every reset video I'm going to allow myself to go out and buy one book. Now this is a book that I contemplated making the Discord book club book, because each month on our Discord we have a book club and we put in different options for what that book's going to be, vote on it, and that's the book we're going to read for the following month. So it could be that. However, sometimes those books are books that I've already got on my TBR, so I don't need to go shopping for them. And also I really wanted to bring back that nostalgia of going shopping or to a library for a book and you have no idea what you're looking for, you're just going around browsing, and that is what I want to bring back. So that's what I'm gonna do. Because normally, ever since I started YouTube, I go out with a list of books that I'm interested in getting, or I'll order them online or something. So this is going to be a way for me just to enjoy book shopping and just browse. So I have no idea what I'm actually looking for. I'm just gonna go there and hopefully we'll find a book that I've never heard of before but sounds really intriguing, and we're just gonna go with it, and that will be one of the books that I read for December, which moves on to the book portion of this, where I will go through a couple of the books that I'm going to be reading in December. Not the full TBR, but there will be a couple of books in there. We will go over the Discord book club pick if you would like to take part. We'll go over the book that I end up picking up from the bookshop, and we'll also probably go through maybe like one or two things that I want to read that I may not get into. Or like November, we actually had a couple of swap outs because I'd already filmed the November TBR, but by the time I got around to filming the reset portion of that, I had made some changes. So it might include that, I don't know, because that's going to be filmed a little bit later. We're also going to be doing a bit of journaling because the journaling portions seem to be really well received, so thank you so much. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. We will be doing my bullet journal. This I got wax on. I like to burn candles and somehow the wax kind of splashed. I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, we now have wax, so it looks really used and worn even though it's not old. So yeah, we're going to be doing my bullet journal setup for the month, also do my reading journal setup for the month. I contemplated not having my reading journal set up in here because I do Instagram reels for my reading journals, then decided, you know what, not everybody watches Instagram reels, not everybody has Instagram. I'm just going to keep it on here. This one won't be as aesthetically pretty to film because I will be filming it on my phone as well as trying to film on my camera, so it's going to be maybe some awkward angles on here, but you will at least get a nice overview of what I end up doing for December's theme. So we're definitely going to be doing those. And is there anything else that I want to do in this video? I don't know, to be honest, but I think that's enough to be getting on with. I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you enjoy this video. I'm really looking forward to it. I think the first thing I'm going to do is probably just set up the journals. That's always the most time consuming thing, and it's also the thing I want to start getting done straight away so I can start planning out what I'm going to be doing in December with my bullet journal and getting myself ready. I always feel like setting up the journals makes me feel like, yes, I am getting ready for the month ahead. So yeah, so let's do that. I haven't got loads planned this afternoon, which is really nice. So I can actually just spend like an hour or two doing these. But yeah, I'm really excited. I hope you enjoy it. And let me know, how do you prepare for the month ahead? And when do you put up your Christmas decorations? That is the question. When do you start doing that? When do you think it is acceptable? Because I've seen some people that the minute it hits November 1st, Halloween decorations are down, Christmas decorations are up. But I want to know, when is acceptable for you to put up Christmas decorations, and when do you take them down? That will be interesting. Right, that's enough of the rambles. Let's get started. been a couple days, and as we saw, we have got the reading journal. No, this is the bullet journal. The bullet journal set up. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. Actually, I really like kind of vintage festive vibe to it, and it's really simple, but it was what works for me. Like, I really find this helpful, so I'm really pleased with how that turned out. I'm also thinking in January to do a few pages so that my weeks can be across the whole week. I'm not sure how I did it. I think I must have messed up October's setup, because it's constantly done where we have the start of the week, finishing the week, and then here, so it's never across a whole page for the full week of what I'm on. I'm thinking to set up a couple of spreads when I do this for January, so that I can then have the weekly to-do list and then Sunday through to Saturday on here on one spread, rather than constantly having to cross over the page. It's not a lot of hassle, but I just think it would be nice to have it all across one setup. But yeah, I'm not sure how I managed to get that wrong. I honestly thought it would be fine for December and it would work out okay, but it hasn't. So I need to kind of organise that. I have some ideas for January. I think I know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I did that. I think maybe because of where I started. Yeah, I think that was it. I think because I did the test run, and I did a test run here for October instead of starting it here with the monthly to-do list here, and then being able to do each week across. Because I did it weird, I think that's where I messed up. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Regardless, I had planned on doing the reading journal setup at the same time, but I really needed a break. I actually find that as much as I love journaling, I only really want to journal for like an hour, hour and a half, which is about as long as it takes for me to actually set up one of these. And then I need a bit of a break to do something else. So I'm going to actually do this today. I have all the papers that I'm thinking of using ready in place, and we've got to do an extra setup. So normally we have my title page, a TBR, and then a book haul. So just 3, but we have the extra one because we've also got the readathon happening in December. So we've got to set that up. Planning on doing that today. But as we saw, I have been Christmas decoration shopping. Did have a lot of fun. Like, it's always nice to see the shop's displays. Like, I really do like it. I did go to TK Maxx, but I only got one thing. I haven't got many decorations. We're actually going to DIY a lot of this, but we'll get to that in a minute. The first thing I picked up is this little nutcracker. I absolutely love it. It is so adorable, and I could not leave it behind. I fell in love with it, so had to have this. It was the only thing I picked up in TK Maxx, and I queued in this massive queue just to get this, but I think it was worth it. And then I did also pick up some tinsel, and I've gone for this kind of muted colour, and I'm actually really happy with that because I think it fits with the vibe and the theme of my room, so I'm really happy with that. Last thing I picked up is these like gold beads. It's like a bead chain, just to do something with my photo frames that I have. So on the one video that I actually stand up for, I feel like I sit down a lot more now, but it would be nice to kind of drape this around my frames if it works. So that's what the plan is for that. I have one thing left over from last year, which is this little snowman, but that's it in terms of decorations. That's all I have. So I'm actually thinking to do some DIY stuff, because I was talking to my partner about the fact that I love these pumpkins and I kind of don't want them put away in storage. Like, I love having them out. Like I was saying to you, I love having them out. I love the area that I've got set up there, but I just don't know how to turn these into like festive. And he turned around and said to me, well, why don't you just do them as baubles? And I was like, that's a great idea. Turning pumpkins into baubles. It sounds really fun, and I think it's going to be interesting to try and do. I have a load of festive decorative paper, so we can wrap those up in that. I also have ribbon, so I can do like a little bow and everything. I think it's going to be really fun to do. It would also have been easier if I just got some wrapping paper and wrapped them. It will probably take a lot less time, but I don't have any, and I forgot to get some. And then another thing I thought of is snowflakes, paper snowflakes, and I thought, why don't I make them out of book pages? So I have this book which I rip out the pages for journaling, backgrounds to like Instagram photos and stuff. So this is just like my crafting book really. I could easily rip out some more pages and turn these into snowflakes, and I've got some twine, so I could make like a paper snowflake garland but made out of book pages. And I thought that would be really cool and fun to do, so I think that's what we're going to do. So today's plan is do the reading journal setup and also do all the DIY decorating, and then maybe today as well we'll actually put up all the decorations. We'll see how I'm feeling. I might need a bit of a break by then, but that's definitely the plan. and then we'll go book shopping after we've done all of that. Let's get crafting. I feel like it's gonna be so much fun. I haven't done anything like crafting for a decoration thing in such a long time. Just feel like it's gonna be so much fun just to have a bit of YouTube on in the background and just getting all crafty and just having a really nice afternoon spent crafting. It's gonna be really, really fun. Let's stop the rambling and let's get crafting. Update and then deleted it by accident. So we're gonna do it again. It's been that sort of morning so far. We've done all the decorating. We did all that yesterday in one day and I'm very pleased with how it all turned out. I really do like the snowflake garland. I think that actually looks a lot better than I thought it would. Although I feel like I should have done 3, so I had an extra one here. There is no way I'm doing more right now because honestly, doing it all yesterday, it was great. It was a great creative day, but it was also very tiring. So I'm pleased that it's done. I may do a 3rd one eventually, or I may just leave it the way it is, and that's fine. I'm also really pleased with how the pumpkins turned out. I think they actually look really good together when it's in this sort of setup. I was a little bit concerned halfway through making them, thinking this is going to look really tacky and really silly and it's not going to work. I really like it. I think it does work and I'm really pleased with it, especially just to reuse things that I've already got rather than going out and buying more stuff. I also love what I did with the bat. We have a scarf that's made out of washi tape for the bat, and I just think it works because, you know, it's winter time, the bat needs a scarf. Like, it works. I'm really pleased with this whole setup, and overall just really pleased with kind of the theme of this. I think it just works really well with the muted tinsel, the book pages, and I just think it all worked. Like, I'm really happy with this, and while it's not the bright sparkly Christmas time which I'm normally used to seeing, especially like with shops and stuff, it's bright, it's glittery, it's, you know, over the top, I'm actually really pleased with this more muted tone. I don't know, I think it really works. Although that golden bead thing, good lord, if I'd had extra tinsel, there is no way I would have carried on putting that thing up because it took me forever, and I'm not 100% with how it's looking, but it's staying up, and so I'm not touching it because, as we saw, I tried 3 different things to get this thing to stay up. The tape worked, and so we're not touching it because if that thing all comes down, it's never going back up. Like, I'm not doing it. So it's staying the way that it is. I'm not fully happy with it. Honestly, I would have rather just had more of this tinsel and then maybe made a couple more paper garlands and just done it like that, but it's fine. It's up, it's staying there, that's what we're running with. Next year we can do something a bit different, but it's fine. You know, it is up there. It is something at least. And then, as we saw, I did do my December reading journal setup, and again, going for more muted. Just had some like leftover Christmas prepping paper from last year, so I used a little bit of that. Kept it quite subtle, but I'm really pleased with that. I really like how it's all turned out. Although, as you see, the TBR pages are blank because I'm about to film my TBR. So I need to get on and film that, and then we can update this. We've also got to go book shopping. The Discord book club pick for December has been finalised. That took longer than I thought because I forgot that I hadn't finalised it. I thought I had. It was a thought I had of like, okay, I need to do this, and I didn't write it down anywhere, so I assumed, oh, I've done this. Does anyone else do that, where you're like, you're thinking about it, and so because you've thought about it, you're like, oh, well, it's been done. This is why I have to-do list, because if it's not on the to-do list, it doesn't get done until late, and then I'm like, oh, I've still got to do that. Anyway, it's done. It's finalised, so when we go book shopping, we're going to be going, as I said, for the nostalgia book club, nostalgia book shopping, just having a little rummage, seeing what we find, and then we're also going to be looking for the Discord book club pick. We'll see what I can find. I am going to my local Waterstones, so I don't know if it's going to be there. Generally, I find when I go to Waterstones, if I'm going for a particular book, it's never there. But I am going to Yalk tomorrow, which is the Young Adult Literature Convention, which I think the video for that is going to be up before this. See, we're going to find it eventually. Even if we don't find it, you'll have a picture up on the screen of what it ends up being when we do the book portion of this, which is going to be in a few moments for you, in a couple days for me. But let's get book shopping, although before we book shop we actually need to do some more filming. So let's film and then book shop as a treat, and then do more book shopping tomorrow at Yalk. Sounds great. Been a few more days, but it was time to wrap up this reset video, and we did go book shopping, and I had a fantastic time. I really enjoyed it, just being able to browse. I ended up shopping for like 45 minutes and picked up 1 book, but it was so worth it. I had so much fun. It was just really nice to just browse. Obviously there were things that I had heard of that I was tempted to get, but I really wanted to stick to the idea of picking up a book that I just haven't heard of before and sounds really fascinating, and that book ended up being O Caledona by Elspeth Barker. Now I have to admit, it was the fact that this was faced out that really caught my attention, because I think the cover is divine. I think if it had been like this, I probably wouldn't have pulled it out of the shelf, but because it was faced out and it was all on show, I thought, oh, that looks really good, and I've not seen it before, I've not heard of it before, and so the cover drew me in, so I decided to read the back of it, and that sounded absolutely fantastic. I had a little bit of a flick through and I was like, yeah, I think this is the one. So it says here on the back, at the bottom of a great stone staircase, dressed in her mother's black lace evening dress, twisted in murderous death, lies Janet. So ends the 16 years of Janet's short life. And it was that got me. I mean, honestly, we got up to twisted in murderous death and I was like, that sounds amazing. That's coming home with me. And then I continued reading the rest of it and it just kind of sealed the deal. It says, a life spent in Draughty's Scottish castle where roses will not grow and a jackdaw decides to live in the doll's house. A life peopled by prettier, smoother-haired siblings, a nanny with a face like the North Sea, and the peculiar whiskey-swigging cousin Lila. A life where Janet is perpetually misunderstood and must turn from people to animals to books to her own wild and wonderful imagination. Sounds so gorgeous. I absolutely love this. This one has an introduction by Maggie O'Farrell. She blurbed it saying, I once decided to become friends with someone on the sole basis that she named O Caledonia as her favourite book. It just sounds absolutely gorgeous. So I'm very excited to read this one in December. And I loved this. I loved the idea of going out book shopping, just having a little look around, and the reality of it all worked exactly how I wanted it to. It was an amazing time. I absolutely loved it. And honestly, if this book ends up being a new favourite, I'm going to be so happy with that. So yeah, I have high hopes. I think it's going to be absolutely delightful. It's not a long book, 206 pages long, so it's really not long. Like, it's a nice one that I could read across like 2 nights or just in one day if I wanted to. Like, it's going to be lovely. It just sounds really good, really lovely. And I haven't heard anyone talking about this before, so if you have read this one, you'll have to let me know. The cover does an amazing job at just grabbing your attention, and then the synopsis is beautiful. Very, very happy with that one. And then I do have the Discord book club pick, which is Spin and Silver by Naomi Novik to read for December. They did have a copy in Waterstones. Decided actually I'm going to read that on Kindle because I have a lot of books that I want to get through physically, and a Kindle book for me, for some reason, I can always read as I go, which doesn't really make any sense. Like, I can normally average out about maybe 7 physical books a month, more if it's the month of a TBR readathon day, because obviously I'm dedicating that day to reading, but they're all short books. I decided for Spin and Silver we're just going to go with Kindle on that one, so I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be lovely. It is a fantasy book that's all about this girl who turns silver into gold because her father is like a pawnbroker, but he's not very good at it. He doesn't trouble people for paying them back or anything like that, so they're running out of money, and so she takes over and just starts, because they're getting destitute because of the way her father's been running this business, and so she starts going out and turning things around. The Fae hear of this and so then take her because they want her to do this. It sounds like it's going to be really lovely and magical. I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is a book I wanted to read in winter anyway, and so the fact that it won for the Discord book club pick, I'm really pleased with. I think it's going to be a perfect wintry setting to go alongside winter and everything, and I think the fae elements of it are going to work really well for Christmas. For some reason I do link Christmas and fairy tales together, so I think it's going to be a perfect pick, so very excited for that. Again, if you want to take part, I will have my Discord linked below so you can join in if you want to. And then I thought I'd talk about a couple of books that I will be reading in December that I'm really excited for. So one of them is for the Tackle Your TBR readathon that's happening in December. Again, that is all through Discord if you want live updates. If not, I'll have the announcement video linked below for you so you can just take part if you want to. Very chilled, very relaxed readathon. The main book I really want to read for it is Hercule Poirot's Christmas. Really excited for this. This will be my first Hercule book. Everything else I've been reading by Agatha Christie has been from Miss Marple, so I'm really excited to give this one a go. And I don't know, I feel like having a seasonal murder mystery is going to be so good, and definitely something that if I enjoy, I'm gonna start making into a theme because I love it. So I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be really good, and this one is all taking place on Christmas Eve, and the readathon is taking place on Christmas Eve, so I think this is going to be perfect timing to read this book. No idea if I'm actually going to be able to solve it though. I haven't been able to solve a single one yet, so it'll be interesting to see if I can. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to this. I think it's going to be fantastic. And then the other book I'm really looking forward to reading is Printer's Devil Court by Susan Hill, and this is again another book that I've never heard anyone talking about. Susan Hill is kind of known for The Woman in Black, really good. I haven't actually read it, I've only watched the theatre production of it, which was fantastic. I really liked it. Yeah, I've never heard anyone talking about this one. Again, another short one, it's not long at all. I just picked this one up randomly off my bookshelves for the December TBR video, and then I read the synopsis and I was like, wow, that's actually fantastic. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I think I'm going to read it very soon because I feel like this is going to be a perfect one to read on like the last day of November going into December, because this does take place in November. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. It is a ghost story. We have our main character Hugh, who kind of gets involved in this group of people that are trying to push the boundaries on science. On the back it says, I tried to keep my tone light as I asked, now what is all this about? What are you proposing? We are proposing, Walter replied, to bring the dead back to life. Fantastic! Very excited for this. I think it's going to be absolutely great, and I think it's going to be one of those underrated gems. I feel like both of these ones are going to be underrated gems, and then Spin and Silver is much beloved. Every time I hear it talked about on a video, it's lots of people that actually love it. I think it's one of Naomi Novik's strongest books, so very excited to read that one. And obviously Agatha Christie is Agatha Christie. I think these two are going to be some underrated books that I'm going to love. I'm going to say here in this video that I'm predicting these to be 5 stars, so I really hope they pull through on that. There we are. That is everything for this video. We've done all the Christmas decorations. We've done the journaling. It made me laugh because I started editing this video and I was saying how the journaling is always the longest part, and honestly no, decorations took me forever to do, but it is all done. So I hope you've enjoyed this reset, and I have been asked to do a bit more of a look into how I actually manage my time and get everything done. I think I'm probably going to do a separate like day in the life of me doing booktube as well as working full time and everything else. Go through it in that separate video because I feel like it will probably be a bit of a longer one to try and fit into the reset video. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it, getting ready for the last month of the year and getting all the festive decorations out. I think that's everything, so I'm going to stop rambling. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you've been up to, what are things that you like to do to get ready, and like I said, let me know, when do you put up your Christmas decorations? Like, when is it acceptable for you to put them up? I'm gonna go. So thank you so much for watching. I think if you have made it this far, then let's leave like a little snowflake emoji in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. So if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it that thumbs up, subscribe and comment. Those 3 things really help this channel grow. My social media links and anyone I've mentioned will be linked below, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.